A couple of weeks ago, I was asked to do a video on NPCs and how they worked as companions. Originally, I was going to do a video on just that, but then I started to wonder, which is better to have with you, NPCs or monsters? So I started doing some research and discovered that this is a big subject with quite a few things to take into account. So for the final video of Rune Factory Month, we're going to find out which companion is better to have with you, NPCs or monsters. From the beginning of the game, you're able to have companions with you, but how do their differences come into play? Well, for the sake of the video, I have Vishnal and a Goblin in my party, and they're both at level 33. Now, let's put them in a scenario where we're fighting a boss and analyze how they both behave. Notice how the Goblin is doing nothing but full-on attacking the boss every single chance he gets? But on the other hand, we have Vishnal, who's also attacking the boss monster. However, whenever he finishes a combo, he stops attacking, runs back to my character, then goes back to fight the monster. Why is he doing this? Well, that's because his AI hasn't been fully developed yet. From the moment you get a villager as a companion, they will have a specific AI set up to them. For example, Dillis will take an enemy head-on and have no concern for his health, much like our Goblin, while Forte will attack the enemy but stop to heal if the party needs it. However, the higher level the villager is, the more competent their AI becomes. I find that whenever a villager reaches around level 100 is when their AI starts to become more useful. However, when it comes to most of the monsters, their AI is always the same, no matter what level they reach. So for early game, monsters are better as far as AI is concerned. Now, let's see how each of them perform during the fight. Watching the fight, it becomes apparent that the Goblin is doing the most and taking the least amount of damage, while Vishnal is getting creamed by the boss. The reason for this is because the monster's stats scale higher per level to make up for the fact that it has no equipment. So unfortunately for Vishnal, this means that the Goblin will perform better than him for most of the game, and even if Vishnal were to have the basic equipment that we would have for that level, the Goblin would still outperform it stats-wise. So for the most part, it looks like monsters would be the better companions for you to have, right? Well, here's where it gets a little bit technical. If you paid attention to what I said, or saw the giant quote-unquote basic appear on the screen when I mentioned Vishnal's equipment, you might have thought, but wait a minute, if he said that his equipment was the problem, couldn't we give him some of the stronger equipment that we forged using the leveling system? And the answer to that is yes. You can give any piece of equipment to any villager and they will equip it, so long as it's better than what they currently have. However, they are only proficient in the weapon type they start off with, so try to give them weapons that would work for the person you are giving them to. For example, Vishnal uses dual blades, so give him a set of stronger dual blades as a gift. That being said, it's still kind of hard to make all the good equipment your companions would need until you reach the later point of the game. But considering that some of the weapons you can make deal tens of thousands of damage, it may be better to have the villagers with you at the end of the game. But before we end the video, there's one more thing that we have to take into account. The level of monsters and humans and how they scale up to each other. Now, Rune Factory is different than other games when it comes to levels. For example, usually other game characters' levels cap out at level 100. But considering that I had my character at level 130 halfway through the second arc, I think it's safe to say that the level cap is much higher in this game. And since leveling up for monsters is much more beneficial than NPCs as far as stats go, this begs the question. Can a monster outdamage an NPC if its level's high enough, even if the NPC has the godly equipment that we do? Well, to figure this out, we have to take a few things into account. The first being, what is the level cap? The second is how monsters and NPCs differ from the level cap. And the third is, do monsters have any other way to increase their stats other than leveling up? Now, let's start off by answering 1 and 2 together. Yes, there is a huge difference when it comes to the level cap of monsters and humans. And that difference is that the monsters stop leveling up when they reach level 10,000. Whoa, that's a big number. However, if the monster you have with you happens to be a boss monster, the level cap is 15,000 instead. But here's the scary thing. The level cap of an NPC is 50,000.
Holy crap!
How much time do you need to put into the game to get to that level? Not only is their level cap higher, but they will also learn new techniques as they reach higher levels, and unless I'm mistaken, monsters do not learn anything new as they level up. But to get back on track, we now know that NPCs more than likely will have better stats when they reach their level cap than the monsters will when they reach theirs. But now it's time to answer the third question. Can monsters gain stats any other way other than leveling up? Yes. Yes, they can. If you watched my video on taming monsters, you should know that you can give any monster any stat increasing item no matter what it is. So let's say you give it an iron ore. That will boost its defense by 1. However, you can only give it 1 item per day. But here's the thing. You can max out a monster stat by giving them items. But as you may have guessed, this will take a very long time since you can only give them 1 item a day. So unless you've been giving a monster an item every single day you've had it, it will take a while for it to catch up to the NPC stats. So what's the verdict? Monsters are better for the early game, but once you start being able to make powerful equipment, the NPCs will far outshine them unless you've been giving them items every single day. And with that, Rune Factory Month is now finished. I want to thank you all for participating in the comments and for liking my videos and subscribing to me. And don't worry, even though this is the last video of Rune Factory Month, I won't stop doing Rune Factory videos. In fact, while I was researching this video, I came up with some interesting ideas for new videos. In fact, I'd like to ask you guys a question right now. Would you guys be interested in seeing a series of short Rune Factory videos covering how each villager changes as they level up? If you are, let me know in the comments below. If not, just let me know. And as always, until next time, see you later. Hey, don't worry, Volcanon. Even though this was the last video of Rune Factory Month, I'm still going to be covering the game. But I'm also going to be doing some other games I wanted to cover, like Fallout, or even something people may not have heard about, like Ogre Battle. And if I do the villager videos, then I'm going to be making a whole lot more Rune Factory videos. Yay! But there won't be any covering you, unfortunately, because I can't get you until the end of the game. Jeez. Well, anyway, if you liked the video and want to watch more of me, like and subscribe. And if you have a game you want me to cover, be it Rune Factory or not, let me know in the comments below. And unless something happens, I always upload my videos on Saturday. So I guess I'll see you then.